How you doing, everybody? Welcome to Monster Territory, brought to you by the Foul Territory Network. And holy cow, what a day today before the rain came in to cancel Game 2. But Game 1, wowzers. Lots of fireworks today. 19 runs for the Red Sox in Game 1. And hey, remember what we said in the series preview a couple of nights ago. This is exactly what the Red Sox need to be doing. Now, I'm not saying they need to go out there and score 19 runs every single game, but yeah, this is what you need to be doing against this Orioles pitching staff that ranks dead last in Fangraph wins above replacement on the year so far. Rafi Devers, a career high, 8 RBIs. Sure, grand slam came against, a position player. It is what it is. What can you do? But, 13 run inning today. My goodness, we're going to break it all down. We got a lot of notes here, a lot of runs to talk about, but it wasn't all sunshine and daisies today. Well, there was no sunshine on the day today, basically. But Alex Bregman with an injury. We'll talk about that. Hopefully, it's not going to be anything too long. I don't think it's going to be, but I'll give you my thoughts on that. Brayan Bello. The struggles continue with Brayan Bello. There was one point today where, yes, they scored 19 runs, but there was at one point the Red Sox were down about halfway through the game, and Brayan Bello was not really helping out all that much. We'll talk about him. I'll give you my thoughts on what's going on with him as well. And then we'll be talking about the Game 2 preview. Let's see if they can finally get this Game 2 win, for crying out loud. I'm not sure what is going to be happening here with the weather. We got a AAA report as well. We got to talk about Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer, and you know what that means. When those guys are doing good things, well, and we got to talk about it. So let's get to the post-game breakdown. But before we do move on, we do have a couple of sponsors to get to.
Kratz, I'm going to let everyone in on a little secret. I am not a fan of carrying around physical cash. I go Cash App, where you can send, receive, or transfer money with family and friends. It's super easy. They've got your back too. Like if you're trying to send some money and you maybe put in the wrong account name, they'll be like, hey, this is a sketchy account. Are you sure you want to send this? Cash App has your back. They do it safe, securely, easily, and fee-free.
And all you got to do is download the app, and Scott can actually pay for his half of dinner.
Exactly. For a limited time only, new Cash App users can use our exclusive code to earn some additional cash. For real, there's no catch. Download Cash App, sign up. It's very easy, and use our exclusive referral code Territory in your profile. Send $5 to a friend within 14 days, and you'll get $10 dropped right into your account. Terms apply. That's money. That's Cash App. I just want to say, before Arena Club, if you were trying to very actively buy, sell, trade, it was very complicated and used a lot of mail that was unnecessary.
Yeah, I didn't even know how to do it, but I'm glad we have Arena Club now because it's a one-stop shop for everything card related.
It is, and right now you can get 20% off your first slab pack or your first card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/FOUL. Use code FOUL. If you're a collector, you've got to check out Arena Club. Go get after it.
And right now, you can get yourself a Marcelo Meyer 2023 Bowman Mega Box card. And Marcelo Meyer, he is knocking on the door, so this might be a good time to go get yourself that card. Arena Club, go check out all the deals they have going on. Again, use the code FOUL for both Cash App and Arena Club. Let's get to it here, shall we? Let's get to it here. So, 19 runs on the day. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of runs to talk about here. But like I said in the intro, this was not, an offensive outburst from the very beginning. This was a pretty close game through 5 innings. The Orioles were leading it 2-1. Cade Povich, he was pitching pretty well today. He was keeping the Red Sox down and out for the count pretty much. Third inning, Jackson Holliday, RBI base hit. That made it 1-0. Rushman, he got another run in on the ground out that made it 2-0. Fourth inning, the Red Sox answered back. Trevor Story with a walk. The Narv dog, Carlos Narvaez with a base hit. And then Sogard with the ground out made it 2-1. And then the 6th inning, this is where the offense came. So Cade Povich, his day was over. after 5. Again, he pitched pretty well for the most part, but Sir Anthony Dominguez, he came in. Sogard, who had a pretty solid day today, he had a double. Christian Campbell with the walk. Ceddanne Rafaela with the base hit. That tied at 2-2. Jarren Duran with a go-ahead base hit off of Gregory Soto, who just came in. He was 0-for-3 up to that point, so that made it 3-2. And then Rafi Devers with the big home run. We'll get to the other one here in just a second, but 3-run home run for Rafi Devers in the 6th inning there. That made it 6-2. 8th inning, this is just where everything got a little chaotic here. 13 runs in the 8th inning, for crying out loud. Ceddanne Rafaela with the walk, Jarren Duran with the double off the monster. That made it 7-3. Now, the notable part about this one was Ceddanne Rafaela coming home. I mean, this guy was out by a mile. He should have been out, but Adley Rutschman could not hang on to the ball on the throw. I'm sure Baltimore Orioles fans loved that one. I mean, nothing is going right with this team. I mean, you're already down, and you're just trying to stop the bleeding at that point, and you can't even hang on to the ball on a pretty easy out there. So the Orioles, man, things are just not going right there in Birdland. Rafi with a base hit that made it 8-3. Rob Refsnyder making Rob's looking great all over the place with a 3-run home run, 11-3. And this is when the Orioles said, all right, forget it. We're done on the pitching side of things. We're going to bring in the position players here. Emmanuel Rivera came in to pitch, mostly playing third base. He's played some first base as well. He was just lobbing him in like it was slow pitch softball. Loaded the bases again. Jarren Duran with a walk made it 12-3. Rafi with the grand slam. Yeah, it's fun to talk about. I don't know. It's not stat padding to me because in the end, right? I mean, you're here to play the game. You're here to win the game, right? So to me, whatever. If the Orioles are going to throw position players out there, well, yeah, you should be hacking against those guys. But I wouldn't call it stat padding necessarily because at the end of the day, it's a game that you're trying to win. Refsnyder with a base hit, 17-3, and then Narvaez finishing it up with a double. That was the 19th run on the day. As you can see, a lot of offense there, right? It all came in the 8th inning, really. Rafi, great day for him. 4-for-6, 2 homers, a career high 8 RBIs, like I said. Refsnyder with a good day, 3-for-5, homer, 3 RBIs. Carlos Narvaez, his OPS is now up to an 837 after a 3-for-6 day. Jarren Duran, OPS up to a 736, batting average just under 270 with a 268. And we saw a little bit of life from Trevor Story. And not really so much. He got a double off Emmanuel Rivera, the position player. OPS is at 607. Trevor Story is fighting for his life, trying to stay above 600. Man, oh man. Trevor Story, even on a day with all these runs, he, still having a bad time out there. So, but as you can see, a lot of runs for the Red Sox today. But like I said, Alex Bregman, not a wonderful day for him. Bottom of the 5th, had a base hit to left off the monster. He rounded first, came up lame, rounding first there. He ended up leaving the game right away. My initial thought was maybe he pulled a hammy, something, trust me, I've pulled my hammy a couple of times, in a game, and it's not fun. That's what I thought maybe it was. But then I kind of watched him a little bit more, and I'm thinking, oh, you know what? Maybe it's something else, because when you pull a hammy, it just looks like you can't even walk. Bregman looked more stiff than anything. And then after the game, he ended up revealing that it was revealed during the game, but he talked about it in the post game, and ended up being a something with the quad. So my guess, it's probably some kind of a minor quad strain. I'm not really too concerned about this, to be completely honest. I've had a quad strain, quad tightness here and there before. The quad is such a big muscle. And, he's probably going to be stiff for a few days, but I'm not really concerned about it. I actually wouldn't be surprised if he ends up just being day-to-day and he avoids an IL stint. Maybe they put him on the IL just to, better safe than sorry kind of a thing. But he did say here, all my strength is still there, which is good. Actually positive from what I initially thought. Again, it just looks like he just looked stiff more than anything, right? Go rest it up for a couple of days, go eat some bananas, go stay hydrated, and I think he'll be fine. Get a little bit of stretching in there, maybe a little massage. I think he'll be all right. he'll be good to go. I'm not too worried about this, but do keep an eye on it. It's possible maybe the Red Sox, it's early in the year. Maybe they just want to be careful with it. I will say this. If he does go to the IL, you have to think Marcelo Meyer is going to get the call, right? I mean, because Rafi, he's not going back to third base. Alex Cora even said that going into the season, right? He said Rafi's the DH. Obviously, he doesn't want to play first base. That's a different conversation. But do not expect Rafi to go back to third base if Bregman ends up going to the IL. I would have to think Marcelo Meyer would be getting the call at that point. He's played a little bit of third. He was playing some third during spring training. Let me actually double check here for Marcelo Meyer. Let me see if he has played any third base. I feel like he's played at least a couple of games at third. I could be wrong. No, he's played 4 games at third base. 4 games at third base. So he's been playing second as of late, but keep your eye out for this. This could be interesting. Again, I'm not really too concerned about it, but maybe the Red Sox want to play it safe. Let's get to Brayan Bello, shall we? Brayan Bello, I have a few concerns here, right? Like I said, hey, happy day, 19 runs, right? Well, Alex Bregman, not so happy. But getting a little concerned with Brayan Bello. This is now the 4th straight start. He has not been able to make it through 5 innings today. 4 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 earned, did have 7 strikeouts, but this man cannot find a way to just go deep into games. It's getting to the point where it's like, all right, what's going on here, right? I don't think there's any kind of an injury or anything going on. I don't think he's laboring out there, but there is something that I think is going on here. I think there could be something mechanically going on because I took a bit of a dive into the numbers. Really, the main problem is he's lacking a put-away pitch, and hitters are not really getting fooled by him. He's trying to get guys to chase out of the zone, but he's not really fooling anyone up there. And I took a look at the numbers when it came to his secondary pitches. On the changeup, the movement is down a smidge from last year. It's not crazy, but it could be enough to where hitters are picking up on it a little bit more because the whiff rate is down 15% on it. 2024 had a 37% whiff rate. This year, 22%. So he's not getting the swing and misses, and the put-away percentage is down 8%. So again, that movement's down a little. So I'm wondering if just hitters, they're just spitting on this pitch, basically. The slider. Funny enough, with the slider, he's actually getting more glove side movement, getting more horizontal movement. But the whiff rate's down 10%. And I think the problem with that is, again, hitters are picking up on him. He's lacking that bite on the changeup, so I think they're expecting the slider. But I don't think he's making enough competitive pitches to where I think you watch him throughout the games, and some of these pitches are just so way outside, and they're just so easy to pick up on. So I think he's just lacking the command on the slider. Again, getting to the whiff rate, last year he was at a 34% whiff rate on the slider, down to 25.5% this year so far. So there is something there. The sinker, it's down a little bit as well when it comes to the movement, but nothing drastic. But the whiff rate's down on that as well. 11% last year, 6.5% this year. So he's lacking the swing and miss. He's not fooling anyone out there. But I really think the main thing is just the command. I just think it's he's not making enough competitive pitches. That makes me wonder if there's something mechanically going on. The release point is slightly different with him, right around a 2-degree difference. So I wonder if that could be something. I'm not sure. But they're with with Bello, he has had some mechanical issues in the past that he's tried to work through. So I wonder if that's something else that's going on here. That's just my guess personally. But with Bello, I mean, hey, I don't think there's anything health-wise going on with him. He looks fine out there. I mean, if there was, I think the Red Sox would have picked up on it by now. But I think he's just trying to work through something right now. He's just going to have to keep working on these side sessions. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens with Mr. Brayan Bello. We do have a scheduled Game 2 tomorrow. Let's see if they can actually get this game in. Now, we've had a couple of rainouts. We've had more rainouts than games played in this series, for crying out loud. But we do have a scheduled game 2. So let's see here. Now, they haven't announced the pitching matchups, but today it was supposed to be Hunter Dobbins against Trevor Rogers. So they haven't announced it. Well, let me refresh. Let me double check here. Double check. Okay, hold on. They have announced it. All right, so it's going to be slightly different. Zach Eflin is going to be pitching game 1, and Hunter Dobbins is still going to be the game 1 starter here. So, and then Trevor Rogers, I would imagine, is going to go game 2. So we'll talk about, they did post the lineup today for the Red Sox before the game ended up getting canceled. We'll go take a look at that in just a little bit. I would imagine it's going to be the same lineup against Trevor Rogers, the lefty, but against Eflin, the righty. Who knows what the lineup is going to be? We'll see tomorrow. But Hunter Dobbins, hey, he's been pretty solid up to this point this year. He's having himself a pretty solid rookie season. Last time out against the Mets, he was doing what he could against these good Mets hitters, right? 4 2/3, 5 hits, 1 earned. Before that, he did have a bit of a rough go against Detroit in that sweep. And then he pitched very well against Kansas City the start prior. So Hunter Dobbins, hey, this is a guy where he's going to go out there. He's going to keep you in the ball game for the most part. Now, Zach Eflin, on the other hand, well, he got torched his last time out. ERA all the way above a 5 now. And, before that, he was looking fine. He went against the Angels, ended up being, he was all right. 5 innings, 2 earned. And, before that Angels start, he did miss a bit of time with an arm issue. So, maybe he was just kind of working through something against the last couple of starts, but miserable start against the Nationals. 5 1/3, 10 hits, 8 earned. So let's see, who knows what kind of Zach Eflin we're going to get in this one tomorrow. I'm not quite sure, but hey, for the Red Sox, you got to think this offense is red hot right now. You got to keep these bats going, and they're looking at that last start from Eflin. If he doesn't make the adjustments, then this could be another high offensive game for the Red Sox. So, and I would imagine for game 2, because Lucas Giolito was supposed to get the start, and then I would imagine it's going to be Giolito against Rogers. Now, here was the lineup for Trevor Rogers, right? So they had Duran leading off, Devers batting second, Ref Snyder batting third, Trevor Story batting fourth. So in case you missed it today, Trevor Story, he did bat in the 5 spot today. And people were just flipping out about this. They were like, why is Trevor Story batting 5th? Well, the reason, because Trevor Story, even though he has had all the struggles this year so far, he hits lefties very well. He's hitting close to 300 against lefties, has over a 140 WRC plus against them. So if you're looking for any kind of a spark for Trevor Story, put him in against the lefty. Now, I saw a lot of people reacting to this lineup. Jared Carabas as well. He put out there saying, why is Trevor Story batting cleanup for my favorite baseball team? Listen, sure, he hits lefties well. That's fine, right? Stat-wise, okay. But, I think it's a fair question with how much he's struggled. He just seems completely lost up there. Numbers-wise, sure, you can definitely prove the case, but I don't know. I think it's fair to argue, is this the best lineup possible? Again, Cade Povich today, lefty, he wasn't really doing all that much. So I wonder if maybe, now that they get to sleep on it a little bit, I wonder if we end up seeing a different lineup tomorrow. I don't know. My guess is they'll probably keep Story in the cleanup spot. Again, they do have the rationale against against left-handed pitching, but I don't know, man. I'm looking at this lineup and I'm thinking, man, what? Especially now that Bregman's not in the lineup. If you're not gonna have Bregman here, Sogard, sure, he's been hot, but wow, Sogard batting 5th. I don't know, man. Like, I get it. We got to wait and see what's going to happen with Bregman and whether he takes an IL stint. But I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at what Marcelo Meyer and Roman Anthony are doing down in the minor leagues. And, I look at this lineup, and I'm thinking, is this the best lineup that you can put out there? Is this the most competitive lineup? I personally don't think it is. I think you could do better. And I think most Red Sox fans would agree that this is not the best lineup you can put out there. Let's go take a look here at the Woo Sox box score And these guys just keep on hitting. I mean, every time we check a box score, they just keep doing their thing. I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, there's really nothing else to say at this point. Roman Anthony, 2 for 3 today. Had a walk. Scored 2 runs. 323 batting average on the year. A 968 OPS overall. The on-base percentage is through the roof. It's over 450. The man's got over a 450 on-base percentage at this point, for crying out loud. I find it bonkers. Like, I get it. It's hard to fit him in. I know the logistical part of it. That's a different conversation. I understand. But my goodness, it's just hard to see a lineup like that. And I know the Bregman injury just happened, but it's hard to see that these guys, well, especially Roman Anthony, is not in this lineup. Now, Marcelo Meyer, like I said, who knows what happens with Bregman? Maybe we see an IL stint. And if that does happen, I think Meyer's coming up. I think Meyer's going to be coming up here sooner rather than later. Then again, I mean, hold on, we'll talk about that in a second. Meyer, 2 for 4 today. 2 RBIs, had a home run, his 9th home run on the year, hitting 271, 818 OPS. Now, I know that's not really close to Anthony, but Meyer did get off to a bit of a slow start. This guy's been raking over the last month or so. I mean, my goodness, Meyer is just red hot as of late. Yeah, again, these two should be up at the major league team. They should be on the Red Sox. That's just me, though. I get it from a logistical point of view, but I mean, these guys are just forcing down the door here. We also got Yostinson Garcia, right? He got called up to the Woo Sox recently from Double-A, and this guy's on fire as well. He's 5 for 13 so far in Triple-A. Hit a home run today as well. He has a couple of doubles, or he has 1 double on the year, or for Triple-A, sorry, and 5 RBIs total. I mean, who knows? You know, I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. You know, we're still trying to get Roman Anthony on the roster, but Yostinson here, he's off to a pretty hot start, man. Pretty hot start. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. So we'll keep our eyes on this. But there is another interesting thing to talk about here. Another interesting thing to talk about. Again, we didn't go live yesterday because the game got canceled. However, the Red Sox did make a move. They made a move, ladies and gentlemen. They signed Ryan Noda, right? Now you might be thinking, well, Ryan Noda, I mean, he's only hitting 148 in the minor leagues so far in the year, only a 634 OPS. Now, if you remember with Ryan Noda, this guy, he was with the A's, you know, not too long ago. He was with the Angels, and then they DFA'd him, so that's how the Red Sox picked him up. But with the A's, you know, coming up through their system, you know, he's with a couple other organizations as well. He's been an on-base machine. I mean, take a look at the on-base here, a 364 on base. Sure, he's not hitting, but the guy gets on base, right? Just like the Moneyball movie. You point at you point at him, and why do we like him? Because he gets on base, right? Ryan Noda is very good at that. I found this signing very interesting because obviously he's a first baseman. He's a left-handed hitting first baseman. So, you know, is this just depth? You know, sure. I guess it's fine, but I don't know. I found it interesting. And I think for the Red Sox, they obviously see the plate discipline that he has, but maybe they feel like they can maybe try to work with him a little bit, you know, try to get something alive again with the bat. We'll see. But it's just interesting that you already have Abraham Toro. Well, the difference there is he's out of options, right? So if he ends up getting DFA'd, well, at least you have Ryan Noda that you can turn to now. It's just interesting that they're adding more depth. And then we heard the comments from Alex Cora a couple of days ago saying he's at like around, I can't remember what I think he said around a 3 out of 10 on how he feels with Christian Campbell's, you know, like readiness, right, to be able to play first base. We've talked about it a lot. He's been getting grounders at first base pregame. He's been working out there. But, you know, I don't know, man. The fact that he said that and then they bring in Ryan Noda, it makes me question what is the plan here. You know, it felt like we were kind of on that path, and then you see those comments, you see this trade for Noda. I don't know. I wonder. I did mention a couple of nights ago, you know, could the Raffy discussion come up again? Seems probably not. Doesn't seem very likely. But keep your eyes on this. I feel like the first base situation, there's a lot that I think could still happen with this. Keep our eyes on this. But everybody, I'm going to wrap it up right there for tonight's post-game coverage. I was planning on doing 2 games here for the stream, and what can you do? What can you do? The rain, Mother Nature is always messing things up. But we'll be back here for tomorrow. We do have a doubleheader tomorrow, right? Game 1 is at 1:05 Eastern Time. Game 2 is at 6:35. So probably be live around 9 p.m., 9:30, 10 o'clock tomorrow night. So everybody, I'm going to wrap it up right there. Thank you so much for joining the post-game show. I see a lot of you in the chat. Thank you for coming out. Everybody, we'll see you tomorrow night.